to our Honorable Director, Professor Dr. Satish Ubale sir, faculties and students of Matrix, APIMR and DIMR. Dear students, Matrix believes in leveraging the management competencies among the management graduates for business and industry by expanding their horizon with updated information in the field of management. In continuation with that, our Honorable Director, Professor Dr. Satish Ubale sir, has initiated this fourth dimension lecture series, where we invite renowned experts from different fields of academics and industry who share their vast experience with our students, which helps them to improve their domain knowledge as well as their employability skills. Our today's guest of honor are Mrs. Ashwini Thorat Khedkar and Mr. Kiran Patil. Mrs. Ashwini is presently working as branch manager with Central Depository Services India Limited, that is CDSL, which is the largest depository in India, holding over 11 crore demat accounts through its 580 plus depository participants. Madam has done BCom and postgraduate diploma in business administration with finance specialization and is having more than 21 years of experience. She is presently taking care of business development, client relationship management, arranging webinars and seminars for college students, general public, corporate employees on financial planning, capital market, and role of depository. Welcome, madam. Our next guest speaker is Mr. Kiran Patil. Sir joined the Bombay Stock Exchange in April 2018, and he is currently serving in Investors Protection Fund Department of Bombay Stock Exchange. He has been instrumental in managing various activities at BSE, which includes conducting investor awareness programs, business responsibility and sustainability, reporting, and other administrative works. Prior to joining BSE, Sir has worked in various sectors such as e-commerce and telecommunication. Mr. Patil has done MBA in marketing along with being a Bachelor of Commerce. Welcome, sir. So, dear participants, without taking much time, I request Mr. Kiran Patil to take charge of the session. Over to you, Kiran, sir.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
So there is some problem, it seems, with my laptop device. I have tried to log in from my phone. It is giving an echo.
I think you have logged in from two devices, sir. And that is why we are receiving that echo sound.
Hello.
Yes,
So
madam.
there is some problem with Kiran sir's laptop. So I think he'll rejoin the meeting in 2 minutes. In the meantime, I will start with CDSL presentation if that is fine.
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay, sure, sir.
We have made you co-host, madam. You can share your screen.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Okay. So good morning to all of you, and thank you to Matrix Institute for giving us this opportunity. At a very short notice, basically, we approached the authorities just last week, and we immediately got positive response, and so we could arrange this session today. So a very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of SEBI, CDSL, and BSc to this regional awareness program.
Madam, just a request from our side. Can we
Yes,
have
sir.
a photograph before we proceed with the session?
Yes, sir, sure.
Please. So I request all the participants to please switch on your camera so that we can have a photograph with madam. And immediately then you can switch off your camera and you can join the session. Yeah, please do it fast. All the participants are requested to switch on their cameras. Please do it fast.
Should I stop screen sharing for a while?
Please, madam.
Okay.
Please. So that we can have all the photographs.
Yes.
Yes, all the students are requested to switch on their camera for a while. Please do it fast. Komal Avle, Purva Sanam, Sakshi Lokare, please switch on. Sonali Pardeshi, Vishal Bayas, Payal Oswal, please switch on your camera fast. We can have a photograph. It takes a second. Please switch on your camera fast. Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. It's done. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank
Please,
you.
madam. Please
So
continue.
I'll share screen again. Yeah.
Yes, madam. Please. All the students are requested to turn off their camera. Yes, madam, please.
Okay. Is my screen visible now, sir?
Yes, madam, it is.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. And at any point in time, if you feel that my voice is dragging or the screen is got stuck somewhere, please let me know.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
As I was saying, I welcome all of you on behalf of SEBI, CDSL, BSc to this Regional Investor Awareness Program on capital market and depository services. As sir rightly said, CDSL is one of the largest depositories in India, having more than 11 crore demat accounts. Our company was incorporated in 1997 and it started its operations in 1999. This year only we completed 25 years of our commencement. That is on 8th of February 2024. We completed 25 years of CDSL commencement. With support of all our DPs and investors, we have come to this level, and we thank everyone for giving this support. CDSL was initially promoted by BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, along with some foreign banks and also LIC of India. It is the only and the first depository in Asia Pacific, which is a listed depository. So securities of CDSL are listed on the stock exchange, that is National Stock Exchange. It is the first and the only depository to operate in IFSC Gift City. All our systems and processes are ISO certified. Necessary standard certifications are available for all the business continuity management systems. DR is in place. And even our e-voting process is STQC certified. Just a glance of as on date numbers of CDSL. We have more than 11 crore active Demat accounts across India. We have 583 depository participants, DPs. These are the intermediaries or agents of the depository, like banks, brokers, financial institutions, NBFCs, through which investors open their Demat account. Okay, so suppose, for example, if you want to open a Demat account, you cannot directly come to CDSL. You have to approach a DP, depository participant, a bank, broker, financial institution, which is offering Demat related services, and you have to open a Demat account over there. Okay, the system, CDSL systems provides the account number to these investors, and all the other Demat related services are offered through the depository participants. We have more than 21,000 unique companies which are registered with CDSL. That means their securities are available in electronic form or in Demat form. So that, see, earlier, if you were having physical share certificate, you might have seen it at your home with your parents, grandparents. There was a physical share certificate issued by the company to investor whenever the investor used to buy any shares of a particular company. So that physical share certificates contain name of the shareholder, quantity of number of shares, then distinctive number, folio number. All these details were mentioned in the share certificate. When Demat process started, the conversion of physical shares into electronic form, this process is called dematerialization. Okay, so that is mere conversion from physical mode to electronic mode. So there are more than 21,000 companies whose securities are available in electronic form, in Demat form, through CDSL depository system. Kiran sir would cover in his presentation about the need for financial planning, why and how you should do, regular savings and investments. So I am not covering that part. But basically, when you have some amount at disposal or for investments, and if you want to come to Demat account or capital market for these investments, there are certain prerequisites or certain accounts which are required when you want to when you want to start investments in capital market. So first is a savings bank account, second is a Demat account, third is a trading account. Okay. Savings bank account you can open with any of the banks near your office, college, or your house. Demat and trading account also, as I said, we have 583 depository participants. So you can approach any of these DPs to open your Demat account. Trading account is to be opened with a registered broker. Okay, the broker which is registered with BSE, NSE, you have to open a Demat, a trading account over there. So basically, Demat account acts as a custodian or acts as a custody account where you keep the shares in electronic form. And whenever you have to buy or sell securities in the stock market, it is done through the trading account. Okay. Basic KYC details are required for opening Demat or a trading account. So you need to have proof of ID and proof of address. PAN card is compulsory, and now PAN Aadhaar linkage is also mandatory to open Demat trading account. Okay, so other than that, you can have a voter ID, driving license, passport, bank statement, etc. as an address proof. It is a KYC process, like KYC is know your client. So one time KYC is registered with the KYC registration agencies, and then your Demat and trading account is opened. Once the KYC is registered, you are not required to do the onboarding of KYC once again in future whenever you want to open more number of Demat or trading accounts also. Okay, so it is a very easy, simple process. Like you open a bank account, you fill up the form, you submit supporting documents. Similarly, you have to fill up the Demat account opening form and submit the supporting documents to your DP. There are lot many DPs nowadays who are offering online account opening system or online account opening facility. You can go to our website cdslindia.com. There we have given list of DPs who are offering online and offline Demat account services. So you can choose a DP from that list and you can open your Demat and trading account with them. Once the demat account is opened, what are the benefits of this demat account? As I rightly said earlier that, earlier the physical share certificates used to be issued. So there was always, problem associated with physical share certificate. Like, the certificate might get damaged, or it might get stolen, or it might get lost in transit, something like that. So all these risks which were associated with the physical handling of the certificates are no longer associated because the securities are held in electronic form. Okay. Earlier demat process, like, if you have sold your securities to some other person, actual transfer of ownership used to take almost a month or 2 months time, because the physical share certificate was required to be sent to the company along with the share transfer form. Then company will make necessary changes in their records and send the certificate to the new owner. Okay, but it was a lengthy and time consuming process. Now after demat has been introduced, we are following T+1 settlement cycle at present. That means today, if you have bought any securities, you will receive those shares in your demat account on T+1. T is trade day plus 1 working day. So today, if you buy it, today is a trade day. If you buy it today, you will get it on the next working day. Similarly, if you have sold any securities, today, if you have done that transaction, tomorrow you should receive money in your bank account. Okay, so T+1 settlement cycle we are following at present. It is always easy and safe to maintain balances in electronic form. Like, if you have a bank account, you keep money into that bank account. It is your money only. You can download the statement anytime. You can transfer money online to some other person. You can do your online payments also. So the balance is reflected in your bank account statement. Similarly, when the shares get credited into your demat account after the dematerialization process, or if you are buying securities from the open market through the stock exchange mechanism, shares get credited into your demat account. Okay, that means you hold that many number of shares of that particular company. You are the owner. Okay, so it is easy to retrieve, easy to transfer also securities in electronic form. Second benefit is loan against shares. You are all students, like, for higher studies or for any other purpose. If you are, like, taking any loan from any bank or any institution, NBFC, etc., you can take, say, loan against property, loan against gold. Okay, similarly, you can take loan against shares which are held in your demat account also. This is called loan against shares. Easy and instant transferability. As I said, we are following T+1 settlement cycle, so no need to wait for a month or so for getting the ownership transferred. It happens in just one day. Many people don't invest directly into share market or capital market because they are not aware about the price fluctuations, or they are having incomplete knowledge, or they don't have that much time to track the market or see the market regularly and invest. Okay, so what they do, they invest through mutual funds. Mutual funds are the entities who pool in money from various investors, small amount of money, like, 1,000, 2,500 rupees, 5,000 rupees, etc., from each investor, and they invest that money collectively on behalf of that investor. Whatever returns are generated from these investments are then passed on to the investors again. Okay, so here if you don't have time, if you don't have expertise, you have experts who are managing these mutual funds, so you can invest through the mutual funds also. So mutual fund units can also be held in demat form in the same demat account along with securities, that is shares, debentures, bonds, etc. Okay, so those who are very new to the market or don't have any knowledge or any investment so far, they can start with mutual fund investments, SIPs, systematic investment plan. Like, you can invest 500,000, 2,000 rupees per month into equity market through mutual funds. And based on your, say, risk-taking capacity, your age, your income, how much you can invest, based on all these factors, you should choose the asset classes in which you want to invest. Okay. So there are traditional asset classes like, bank FD, gold, property, etc. And there are other asset classes also which are available in the capital market like shares, debentures, bonds, NCDs, then there are mutual funds. Okay, these also are available for investments. There are some tax saving bonds and tax saving schemes also in mutual funds, which the salaried people or, even the professors of your institute, they can look for investments. Once you open a demat account in CDSL, there are certain digital services that we provide you. Say when you open a bank account, you get a login to net banking. Okay, you log into the net banking portal and you can see how much money you have in your bank account. Okay, or you want to download a statement, you want to check the transactions, you can do that. Similarly, when you open a demat account with CDSL, there is a facility called EASY, Electronic Access to Securities Information. Okay, so when you want to view your demat account, you can log into our website through EASY facility and you can check valuation of your account. You can download statement. You can also monitor corporate announcements. Companies, when they come out with bonus, dividends, rights issue, etc., they come out with circulars which are available on the stock exchange platform also. So these corporate announcements you can track or you can monitor, and you can also plan your investments accordingly in these companies. Now, through net banking, when you want to transfer money from your account to some other person's bank account, you add that person's account as a beneficiary in your bank account and you do online transfer through NEFT, IMPS, any RTGS, etc. Similarly, if you want to transfer shares from your demat account to your broker's demat account or to some other person's account or to your own any other account which is maintained with any other DP. Okay. So we have a facility called EASY, Electronic Access to Securities Information and Execution of Secure Transactions. Okay. So it is based on PIN and e-token. So you get to transfer shares from your account to some other account as well online. My EASY mobile app is also available. You can download it on your smartphone and you can track your investments, track your demat account. Even if you are not in front of the laptop or even if you are traveling, you can track your demat account transactions through this mobile app. There is SMS alert facility, which is called SMART. Okay, whenever you are selling any securities or if you are receiving any corporate action credit or any IPO allotment, or if you have changed your demographic details, for all these things, CDSL sends SMS directly to the investor. Okay, so you can check whatever alerts or whatever information is being received by you on your mobile number, email ID. So SMS registration is mandatory. Always keep your latest and active mobile number and email ID registered in your demat account. Because nowadays for authentication of your transactions also there are OTPs sent to your registered mobile number and email ID. So if your old number or the number which is not in use is registered, you will not get that OTP to authenticate your transaction. Okay, you will be at a loss. So always keep contact details updated in your demat and trading account. There is one more facility which is available to the investors or demat account holders, that is e-voting. Whenever you buy securities of any company, you become a part owner of that company. Okay, shareholder is a part owner of company. Whenever company wants to have certain resolutions passed through the shareholders at the time of AGM, EGM or postal ballot activity, they send information to the shareholders and they ask shareholders to cast vote on the company resolutions. Now, say for example, you are staying in Pune and there is one company whose AGM is going to happen in Chennai. Okay. So it is not possible for you to practically travel from Pune to Chennai just to attend the AGM or cast your vote on the company resolutions. But through the e-voting online facility, sitting at home in Pune, you can just log into the system and you can cast your vote online. During the COVID era, even virtual AGMs started by, like, it was started by many companies. Still, it is going on. So, virtual AGM means what? Company will provide you online facility to view the AGM sitting in your own home in your city itself. Okay, so no need to physically go and attend the AGM. So that visual virtual conferencing facility is also available with CDSL, which is being availed by many issuer companies. We also have a facility called Consolidated Account Statement, CAS. Okay, if any one of you have a demat account somewhere, then you would be receiving a consolidated account statement with from the depository, that is CDSL, or the other depository, that is NSDL. Okay, so this consolidated account statement gives you complete view of all your investments in the capital market. Okay, say for example, if you have 2-3 demat accounts, you have 4-5 mutual fund investments, you will get all those information in one single statement. So you can monitor your account or monitor your financial investments through this consolidated account statement. If you have any grievances, any queries, for, like, from for your transactions or related to your DP, your broker, we have an online investor redressal mechanism on our website, and also there is a dedicated email ID, complaints@cdslindia.com. So you can post your complaints or your queries, your grievances through these facility or through these apps. SEBI, which is a capital market regulator, has also recently started a new completely investor-oriented website, investor.sebi.gov.in. So any complaints, any grievances you want to report, or any, it is an educational aspect also, like you can go through this website. There are various informative articles and circulars also given. Plus, you can also have your complaints redressed through this website. SEBI has also got a mobile app for investor education, which is called Sarathi. You can, it is available in Hindi and English, so you can download it on your smartphone. And link is also available on CDSL's website. So it is a very informative educational app you can download, and you can get a lot of information related to the securities market. This is CDSL's website, cdslindia.com. We have a facility called Buddy Chatbot. You can have your queries resolved, or your answers to all your questions through this website. There are various sections called investor relations, depository participants. Then there are publications also. There are circulars also. We are we have started one web series, not web series. It is a video series called No Shak Niveshak. I will share a link of YouTube videos with Dr. Anand, so he can circulate it to all the students. And I'll also share a Google feedback form link to Mr. Anand. He can circulate to all the students after this session. So this, under this No Shak Niveshak, we have prepared small informative live videos on various topics. There are 8-9 topics, like about KYC, about account opening, about dematerialization, about NRI account opening, etc. So you can go through these videos, and we will keep updating, and we will keep posting such informative videos in future as well. For any updates or information or Q&As relating to depository services, you can go to our website, cdslindia.com. There is one more investor corner available in under investors. So we keep updating our upcoming webinars or seminars details over there. Plus there is the do's and don'ts section. There is a Q&A section which you can go through to update your knowledge. We are also available on all social media handles, so you can follow us at CDSL India and give your suggestions, your feedback about these educational initiatives taken by CDSL. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe CDSL. In case there is any change in your Demat account, it is very important that you update your contact details with your DP. So, because if the account is kept dormant, there are no activities happening in the account for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then the account becomes dormant. 2 years back, there was 6 KYC attributes which were made mandatory, and plus recently there was a mandate for PAN and Aadhaar linkage also. So the accounts which were KYC deficient or which were not having PAN Aadhaar linkage, those were frozen for debits and all. So if you are not able to do any transaction through these accounts, please get your KYC updated with your DP. Please inform your DP about the PAN Aadhaar linkage and then get your account activated so that you can invest in capital markets seamlessly without any problem. In case there is any loss of DIS booklet or any transaction which has happened without your knowledge, etc., please report to the competent authorities, stock exchanges, depositories, SEBI, and we will try to help you in all best means that we can. When you open a bank account, you are issued a checkbook. So if you want to transfer money from one person to another, you can issue a check. Similarly, when you want to transfer shares from your Demat account to some other person, there is a booklet issued by DPs which is called Delivery Instruction Slip Book. Okay. So through this slip, you can submit this slip to your DP and you can transfer shares from in physical form from your account to some other account. Okay, so it is as good as having a checkbook. So never keep any blank signed DIS with anybody. Try to understand what information is required to be filled in and fill it yourself. Read all the information carefully and then only sign and submit it. Okay, so don't keep anything lying around here and there without having in proper custody. We all are so addicted, I would say, to social media, and we are continuously on our phone, on our smartphones, browsing various apps or going on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media apps. So there is a lot of information flowing from various sources to you, and even your information also would be going to some other if it is made available very easily. So always be careful about whatever messages you are getting or whatever emails you are getting or calls you are getting. Never share your user ID password with anyone. Always keep your DIS book or your passwords in safe custody, or with you only. Don't share it with anyone. OTP also, please don't share with anyone. Do your transactions on your own. So it is very easy, to fall in trap of any misleading information. So if you get any messages, emails, calls from any unauthorized or suspicious sources, please do not act positively on it. Whenever you feel need that it can be a suspicious or a false email, message, call, please report to the competent authorities and be aware about the information that you are sharing with any of these sources. Just to sum up, please update your contact details regularly with your broker, your DP. Update your bank details in the bank account. Many times it happens that companies issuing dividend, etc., and the bank details are not updated in the Demat account, because of which the dividend doesn't reach the ultimate investor. It is kept as an unclaimed dividend only. So always remember to update your bank details as well. Register nominee in your Demat account. Whenever you are opening a Demat account, even if it is a joint account, still you can nominate up to 3 people in your Demat account. So based on the percentage or type of securities, you can have nomination. Maximum 3 nominees in one Demat account. If you don't want to nominate right now, you can mention that I don't want to nominate. You can opt out for this facility. And later on, when you want to nominate somebody, you can add that nomination or modify also. Register and track your Demat account through SEBI, through CDSL's easy and SMS facility. Verify your transactions regularly. Regularly doesn't mean that you have to go to your portal or your website or your account every day and keep tracking. Okay. But at least once in a month, once in a quarter, once in 6 months, please go check what securities you have, what returns they are getting, whether they are giving you, expected returns or not, whether there is any shuffling of portfolio or a deletion or addition is required. Okay, please check that. Power of attorney is an optional document. If you don't want to give power of attorney, there are various online options available. Online through easiest you can transfer your securities, or through EDIS facility you can transfer your securities, or also through the 3-in-1 account. Most of the banks brokers are offering 3-in-1 demat account. So you can register for 3-in-1 demat account and manage all your transactions online through their app or their portal. Beware while dealing in the unsolicited stock tips. Just don't believe blindly on rumors or any tips that you're getting from any sources. Please do your homework, your self study, and then only invest your hard earned money or saved money into these form of investments. While dealing with any platforms which are you are not aware about completely, or there is no guidance, etc., please do not fall into the trap, and always be careful about these type of investment options or instruments or charts or any apps which come across. Certain do's and don'ts while investing in the securities market. Always invest through SEBI registered intermediaries. All the brokers, DPs who are registered with the capital market in the capital market through SEBI, their list is available on SEBI's website. All the registered DPs list is available on the depository's website. All the registered brokers list is available on the on the stock exchange's website, SEBI's website. So whenever you are investing, please invest through a registered intermediary. Always research before investing. Don't feel that somebody has given you a tip and he said that within a month the amount money will be doubled. Just don't believe that person blindly. Do your self study also and then invest. Always invest what is surplus. Okay, you should always have an emergency fund. Suppose you have 1 lakh rupees with you, you should always have some emergency fund for any kind of unevident circumstances that may arise. And you should always invest the money which is surplus, okay, which you are not going to need in immediate future. That only you can invest in the securities market. Okay, you might have heard this line many times in the advertisements, or even you might have seen in the newspapers. Say mutual fund investments or equity investments are based on the market. It is market major ups and downs hote hai. It is dependent on that. So always invest whatever is surplus. Don't invest your complete hard-earned money into just one asset class, because if the market falls, or if if you have put all the money in FDs, FD rates are very low these days, 6-7%. Okay, and the inflation rate is more than that. So you should always invest in an asset class which is giving you at least returns to beat the inflation, and you get some surplus returns also. Build your stock portfolio. Instead of investing in penny stocks or in small very stocks which are available in at very low price, create your portfolio by investing into good companies with good track record, financial backing, etc. Hold the winners and cut the losers. Go through your portfolio regularly, check who are the winners, who are the losers. Instead of getting stuck at into losses, it is always better to remove that stock from your portfolio and invest that money into a better performing stock. Invest consistently. In the stock market, many people feel that it is an option to earn quick money, but it is not so. Patience is the key. Patience is very important. So you invest for, managing all your financial goals or meeting all your financial goals, like, short term, medium term, long term, whatever you want to go for higher studies, you want to plan for your marriage, you want to take care of your parents' health, or you want to have, good lifestyle once you start earning also, and also having a good retirement portfolio. Okay, retirement planning. For all these types of financial goals, you should consistently invest. Okay, so don't take investment as gambling. Don't invest blindly based on free tips or recommendations. Do not have unrealistic expectations, from a particular stock. If you are somebody is telling ki, you invest today and after 1 month you will get double. Okay, but how realistic it is? What is the performance of that particular stock in past? Okay, what are their future aspirations or any new ventures that have come? So please check all these things and don't have unrealistic expectations. Okay. Don't follow herd mentality or avoid psychological biases or traps. Okay, whenever you are investing in capital market, don't fall into the trap of any psychological or mind games which some people play. But always be practical, always think positively, think from a longer perspective, and take wise decisions. Lot of information is available online through the internet, through the websites of stock exchange, depository, SEBI. There are various investment planners, registered investment planners, financial planners, through whom you can, take their help to manage your portfolio, to understand your expectations, and they will plan out your investment strategies. So always, you don't mind paying certain amount of money to that person annually or monthly if he is going to give you good advice and he is going to manage your portfolio in a better way. Okay, so don't fall for free tips or recommendations, but always do some self-study also and take a informed decision. We are all following Atmanirbharta. We want all our investors to be self-sufficient or Atmanirbhar Niveshaks. So please, take proper care while investing into the capital market. CDSLindia.com is our website, and we are also available on all social media apps. So do follow us, like, share, subscribe to the various information videos and articles that we come out with at CDSL India. Thank you very much for your patient listening, and we will take the questions after Mr. Kiran Patil's presentation. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Ashwini madam, good morning. Kiran here. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Madam, I need your help. There is some technical glitch in my system. So I have already sent you one PPT from my personal email address. If you can help me display that PPT, I will speak over the phone.
Yes.
So I'll start my session. In the meantime, you can please upload the PPT.
Yes, just a minute.
Good morning to all the faculty members, college staff, and my dear friends, students. As I have been already introduced, I am Kiran Patil, serving in Investor Protection Fund Department of BSC Limited, which is formerly known as Bombay Stock Exchange. So now in this session, while there are some faculty members, college staff in the audience, most of the audience consists of students. So why are we talking about investment awareness with the students when we know that you are pursuing your studies and technically you don't earn money, and hence majority of you may not be having money to do investments? So that is the first question which comes to anyone's mind. So the answer to this question is, it's because you are the future of this country. You are the future potential investors of this country. You are the Yuva Shakti of this country. And that is why we feel it is our moral responsibility to instill in you habits of savings and investment. And that is how we are here today, to give you some information on the capital markets, how the capital market functions, what are the ways you can save money, what are the ways you can invest in the capital markets. So even before jumping to the capital markets, let us understand what we mean by savings and what we mean by investments. Madam, have you got the PPT? Ashwini, madam.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. I will just display it. I'll share screen.
So when we say savings, what do we mean by savings first and foremost? So in a simple language, savings refer to money which is set aside from your income or your earnings to use it in future for a specific purpose instead of spending it right away. Now, when we talk about savings, why do we need savings? There are multiple reasons why do we need savings. One is, as madam rightly said, there could be emergency needs like medical emergency, unanticipated expenses like repairs at home, vehicle repairs, legal expenses, natural disasters, etc. Madam, we can move on to the next slide.
Sir, is the screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, okay. You tell me when to change the slide. Just say next.
So
I will change the slide.
yeah. So you can put it in a presentation mode and then you can go to the next slide.
Okay, sir.
I think you have to go into the presentation mode, madam. This is not a presentation mode.
One sec.
So as I said, one is the emergency requirements. That is why we need savings. Second is there could be short-term goals. What is short-term goals? It could be purchase of some home appliances. It could be purchase of vehicle, jewelry, or some other like mobile phones, even for that matter. Okay. Then there could be some, yeah, just hold on, madam. So then there could be repairs or interior designing of your home, down payment of the house, vacation, festival celebration, etc. These are some short-term goals. Then there comes the long-term goals. What are long-term goals? It could be higher education. It could be marriage of any one of your family member, and it could be retirement planning. So these are some of the goals for which we do savings. Okay, now when we do savings, what happens? Okay, why do we talk about savings and why we are talking about savings with the students? So first and foremost, you can see it is like developing financial discipline. What do you mean by financial discipline and what it happens? Like when you instill a financial discipline amongst yourself, you foster responsible spending habits. So what happens is, for example, I'll give you a classic example. Two people, let's take an example of two students who pass out 10th and their family members give a 30,000 rupees each to both of them and tell them to buy mobile phones. Out of these two people, okay, one person goes and buys a mobile phone worth rupees 30,000. The second person, okay, buys a mobile phone worth rupees 15,000 and rupees 15,000 he keeps it into bank account in a fixed deposit with a average. Let's take an example of 5% interest. Exactly within 1 month, the depreciation of the first person who has bought the mobile phone of 30,000 rupees, the depreciation is around 30-40%. So, jo 30,000 rupees tha, if you take 30,000, 3,000, 30% as a depreciation, 9,000 usme se chala gaya, the balance is only 21,000. That is the asset value which is remaining with that person. In the other case, the person who has bought a mobile phone worth 15,000 rupees, his 15,000 rupees is already in the bank. And the depreciation of 30%, the amount will be around, it will come down to around 10,000 rupees approximately. So cash in hand for the second person would be around still 25,000 rupees. So if you see the difference, the first one is a loser in this case, and the second one is actually getting the savings done. Next, madam, the PPT is not audible. Sorry, it is not visible. Ashwini, madam, the PPT is not visible. Can you hear me, madam? I'll still continue. Next is the financial security. So once you have savings, you get a financial security. In case of unwarranted expenses, you have the money with you to spend on it. Emergency preparedness, we talk about. Future investments, and of course, there you will earn interest on the amount you have saved. Now, when we talk about savings, you as a student, what are the options available with you when we talk about savings? The first one is avoid impulse spending. What do you mean by impulse spending? You go to a say a mall, and with a you wanted to buy something. For example, you wanted to buy a product or a but then after looking at various products, you get an impulse to buy more. So that is impulse spending. So which you can easily avoid. Next is limit unnecessary expenses. You can cut unnecessary, unessential expenses which you may feel are not required. Third is you may opt for public transportation instead of going through, to by, if it is possible, of course, using Ola, Uber, or any other mode of transport. If you can use public transportation, that will be beneficial for you, and you can end up in saving some amount. Uh, Fourth is budgeting. You should do a proper budgeting at the beginning of the month, that what are your expenses, how much money you get from your home, and what is the amount you can actually save. Fifth is scholarship and grants. I'm sure your college may be providing some scholarship based on which you can cut upon your fees. That amount you can end up saving. Next is automated savings. When we talk about automated savings, it means a certain amount decided every month which you will save. It can be in the form of recurrent deposit in your savings account, or it can be in the form of a SIP. I'm sure you must have heard about SIP. That is a systematic investment plan through mutual funds. And the last one is, though I'm not encouraging, but if it is possible, part-time employment, like taking tuitions or all such kind of jobs which are available, if it is possible for you, if time permits, if your college or if your parents permit, then you can opt for this particular part. Coming to the next is talking about stock exchange. Ashwini madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, your this PPT is not visible.
Just a minute. Just a minute. I'll share screen again. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible. Please go to the next slide, madam.
Yes, sure.
So what are the various modes of investing your money? And madam, can you go to the previous slide? Previous. Iske pehle wala slide. Previous slide. Previous. So my friends, you can see this slide. It talks about difference between savings and investment. So there is a thin line between savings and investment. Savings kya hai? So if I need money for a specific purpose within a time frame of 1 to 2 years, then it is better to keep that money into a bank account wherein your money is safe. The risk is very low, though you earn a interest which is also very minuscule. So if you consider a bank account, if you keep it in savings account, the typical average rate of interest is 2.5 to 3%. If you keep it in fixed deposit, typically it is 6 to 6.5%. And for senior citizens, of course, it is on a higher side. So if you see the indicator, there is a purpose why you need to save money and when you need to do investment. So for short-term goals, you can always go with the savings. If it is a long-term goal, if it is a more than 5 years, then you can opt for investments. What is investment? I'll let you know in the subsequent slides. Then we talk about time horizon. So if you see there is a time horizon, of course, savings is intended for a short time purpose. Investment is for a long time purpose. That is, it could be more than 5 years. We talk about risk and return. So if you talk about savings, the risk is very low because bank mein paisa hamesha safe hota hai. Rarely there is a option, there is a possibility that there would be a problem with the bank, but the risk is minuscule, but the returns are also modest, so it will be very low. Comparatively, investments, the risk is on a higher side, however the returns are also high. Liquidity, I'm sure you as a management student understand what liquidity means. It means mujhe paisa chahiye, I have invested somewhere, I need the money immediately. So how liquid it is, like आज मुझे मैंने सोचा कि मुझे पैसा चाहिए, how fast I can get that money back. So that is called as liquidity. So in case of savings account, immediately you can go to your bank and get your FD or savings, whatever money is there, you can withdraw it. In case of investment, it depends upon the type of investment. If you have invested in property, it is difficult to, the liquidity is very low. But if you invest in capital markets, the liquidity is high. Instruments, what are the kind of saving instrument? Of course, savings account, fixed deposit, etc. Investment, it is stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estates, and other asset class. Madam, please go to the next slide. Move on to the next, madam. We already spoke about this particular, why there is a need for financial literacy. So now we spoke about this, avoid impulse spending and etc. Madam, please go to the next slide. So now what are the options available for wealth creation? First and foremost is the banks. As we said, there are options like fixed deposit, recurring deposit, savings account. Based on the type of account, the rate of interest changes. Next is the gold and precious metal. So many people have the habit of buying gold, physical gold. So that is one option. Second is gold ETFs. So the gold receipts are traded on stock exchanges. So you can buy gold in the form of a paper. That gold will be protected and stored somewhere else by the exchange or the entity which is offering these gold ETFs. But you will hold that particular gold in the form of a virtual, basically virtually will hold that gold. Same is the sovereign gold bonds. It is issued by the government. This is another way of saving it. And same is electronic gold receipts. Next is government saving schemes. There is something called as national saving certificate, okay, which you can invest money, you get returns out of it. Post office saving schemes and national pension schemes for the employed people. And the last one is stock markets. There are various products offered by the stock markets. First is, of course, the mutual fund, which is the minimal risk option which you can go for. Second is equity shares. Third is debt instruments. Then there is government and corporate bonds. Madam, can we move on to the next slide? So why investment into, what are the advantages of investments over savings? First is you will get higher returns on the investments compared to savings. Second is long-term growth. If you're looking for a long-term growth, if your goal is more than 5 years or something, then you should opt for investments. And third is diversification. Diversification means what? You can invest in multiple products or services. Like some amount you can invest in gold ETFs, some amount you can invest in equity, some amount you can invest in mutual fund. So it is diversification. So there is very lesser risk involved if you diversify. Madam, please go on to the next slide. We talked about inflation. Madam spoke to you about inflation. What is inflation? I'm sure you guys are aware of. Just to give a classic example, 2 or 3 years ago, the cost of CNG per kilogram in Mumbai was around 65. Now it is around 80 rupees. So ये जो कीमत बढ़ गया है, that is inflation. So the average inflation, inflation index, if you look at, it is around 6 to 7%. And why we are saying that beat inflation? So if you keep your money into bank account, into a savings bank account, the average returns what you get is around 2.5%. So 100 रुपया पे 2.5 रुपया मिल गया. But what is the inflation? It is around 6%. मतलब महंगाई दर जो चीजें महंगी हो रही है वो कितने दर से हो रही है? 6% से हो रही है. So the amount what you're earning from your savings is lesser to beat inflation, and that is how we recommend go for investments. Next is income generation. Of course, you generate income in the form of a passive income from your investments. And third is, of course, the accomplishment of financial goals. Madam, can we go to the next slide? Just have a look at this particular asset class. It talks about what is the type of asset class, what is the return. So if you talk about equity or mutual fund, the return is very high. Safety is low compared to the other asset classes. Liquidity is high. Recurring or incidental costs are low. So just to give an example, if you hold gold in the form of a physical form, okay, you have to keep it at home or you have to keep it into the bank locker. So there is a cost associated and a risk associated to it. But if you buy gold bonds, or if you buy gold in the form of ETFs, then you don't have to store the gold physically. So that is an example of the safety and the returns and the recurring or incidental cost. Madam, can we go to the next slide, please? So what are the advantages of investing into stock markets? One is, of course, the potential for the higher returns. Next is you have a ownership in the profitable companies. When you buy a share of a certain company, you are, of course, who are the owners of the company, which is taught in our 11th and 12th itself. That is the shareholders or the owners of the company. So you gain ownership of that particular share in that particular company. Next is accelerated wealth accumulation. Of course, you end up accumulating wealth if the company makes profit. You accumulate wealth. Automatic reinvestment in case of mutual funds. If you are investing something in mutual funds, whatever amount you earn at the end of the year or monthly basis, based on whatever kind of investment it is reinvested. So that is the effect of compounding, which I will show you in the subsequent slide. Passive growth. Why passive growth? As I said, mutual funds, for example, it is managed by professionals. So you don't have to actually go and see how of course, you have to review it periodically, but then practically you don't have to see where you want to invest your money. That is not in the case of equity. Equity, you have to maybe every few days you have to look at the stocks. You have to see how the company is performing. There are various study mechanisms you have to do in case of equity. Time is a critical factor. I will tell you why. Madam, again the PPT has disappeared. Risk mitigation. So if you diversify, the risk is lesser. Ashwini, madam, can you please display the PPT? Then we talked about liquidity. Liquidity is one more benefit. So coming to the stock market, madam, please go to the next slide. Next. So I'm sure you guys have heard about stock markets. Can somebody tell me which are the two prominent stock markets in India? Equity के लिए?
Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange.
Right. So you can see the picture of Bombay Stock Exchange, which is now called as BSE Limited, and of course National Stock Exchange, which is NSE. Of course, there is a multi-commodity exchange as well, MCX. But for equity, these are the two prominent stock exchanges in India. Now, madam, can we go to the next slide? So how does a stock market function? So basic thing, madam, just hold on. So the first part is company wants to go public. Why the company wants to go public? The company is already into existence. The company wants to expand its operations, for which it requires huge capital. Capital कितना required होता है? 250 करोड़, 500 करोड़, 1000 करोड़, 5000 करोड़. So this money, so huge amount of money, it is not possible for only limited set of investors. That is how company decides to go public. When it decides to go public, it goes to, there are a lot of processes which are involved. The company has to go to SEBI, apply in SEBI. SEBI is Securities and Exchange Board of India, which is the market regulator in India for capital markets. So it goes to SEBI with an application for going public. There are merchant bankers involved into it. And then company comes up with something called as IPO, which comes into the primary market. So IPO is an initial public offer. When the company is first time launching its shares, that time it issues something called as IPO, which is dealt in primary market. Madam, please go to the next. So what happens is we apply for the IPO through our banks. There is a demat account required for it. There are three types of accounts: savings, trading, and demat account required, which madam has already discussed with you. And all such investors having these set of accounts can apply for IPO of any particular companies. So investors purchase shares through IPO for the first time of the company. Then what happens is, next, the company is listed on the stock exchange. यानी क्या होता है? Companies shares start appearing on the stock exchange. So these shares are now available in the secondary market for buying and selling for the general set of investors. So what happens? Based on the demand and supply, the rate of the share fluctuates. If the company is making profits, there will be a heavy demand for the shares, and of course the share price will increase. And what happens is stockbrokers and exchanges come into picture for buying and for carrying out this activity of buying and selling of shares. Madam, next please. Price discovery is trying to basically the stock price, that is whether it is going up or it is going down based on the performance of the company. Next is there is something called as clearing house. So clearing house is responsible for clearing the trade. Basically, I am trying to buy a share, somebody is trying to sell a share. So we don't know, I as a buyer or a seller, I don't know who is the opposite person. That is the mechanism of the stock exchange. So it is the responsibility of the clearing house to ensure that the entire trade is executed. यानी अगर मैं कोई शेयर सेल कर रहा हूं और मेरे से कोई बाय कर रहा है, तो वो शेयर जो है उसका पैसा मुझे आना, ये जो पर्टिकुलर काम है ये क्लियरिंग हाउस का काम है. So the clearing house and the exchanges ensure that the trade is executed efficiently and the money is credited to the account of the seller and the shares are bought by the buyer in his demat account. Next is clearing banks. There are banks involved in the transaction. Depositories, madam has already spoke about CDSL, that is one of the depository. NSDL is the second depository. Depository participants. Next comes dividends and capitals. Like once the company starts functioning, every year based on the performance of the company, dividends are declared. What is capital gain? So you have bought a share of rupees 100. After 1 year, the stock price is 150 rupees. So 50 rupiya jo hai, that is a capital gain for you. So that is a capital gain. Next is market indices. I'm sure many people here must be knowing BSE Sensex, BSE Bankex, Nifty, Nifty Bankex, all these indices I'm sure you are aware of. Then the regulatory oversight, that is SEBI is responsible to ensure that market is regulated properly. There are no wrongdoings in the market. And the last is investor education and awareness, what we are conducting right now. Coming to what is BSE Sensex, just a glance, it is a benchmark stock market index which represents 30 companies, 30 large companies in this particular set. So ये Sensex जो होता है वो 30 companies का एक group है. Okay, so it is diversified across all sectors, including finance, information technology, energy, healthcare, etc. So some stocks are Reliance, Asian Paints, Bajaj Finance, Bharti Airtel, Tata Motors, etc. So Sensex is considered one of the key indices in the world, and I'm sure you must have heard about market आज ऊपर गया नीचे गया. So this is based on the Sensex. So based on the Sensex, we say that the market is performing well, or it is bullish, or it is bearish. Coming to the next slide, madam. Before you invest in stock markets, understand financial education is necessary. You need to understand properly. Only then invest in financial markets. Financial goals are important. अगर आपको एक साल के अंदर वो पैसा जो आपके पास है अभी एक साल के अंदर चाहिए, then the risk of the stock markets is high. So it is better to keep that money into your bank account. However, if that same money you require after 5 years, then you can easily go and invest into stock markets or maybe mutual funds. Ensure you have emergency funds before investing into stock markets. Debt management means what? अगर आपके ऊपर कोई loans, existing loans वगैरह, ensure you fulfill those or you pay off those debts first before getting into stock markets or any other investments, because of course the rate of interest would be higher. Risk tolerance assessment is very important. Why? What is risk tolerance? Suppose you have 1 lakh rupee. Okay, when you enter into capital markets, as Madam Ashwini Madam said, in the advertisements you have heard, mutual funds are subject to market risk, capital markets investments are subject to market risk. So there is a high level of risk involved. So ensure that you do a proper risk tolerance. Means what? If you have certain amount, you have to do assessment कि इसमें से कितना नुकसान होगा तो चलेगा आपको. How much losses you can easily digest. So that is called as risk tolerance assessment. Next, madam, is investment knowledge is required, and of course demat trading account is required. We go on to the next. What are the products offered by stock exchanges? Equity shares, debt instruments, derivatives. Madam, please go to the next slide. Mutual funds, I'll just give a glance of how it works. Exchange traded funds, ETFs, we talked about gold ETFs. Initial public offerings, we talked about IPOs. and sovereign gold bonds. We talked about it, which are issued by the government of India. Madam, please go to the next slide. So while investment into stock markets, ensure that there are certain do's and don'ts. Okay, so look at the reputation of the promoters and their stake in the company, the position of the company, whether it is making profits or losses. Okay, whether it is in the right path or not. These are some few things which you need to study before entering into equity market. Madam, please go to the next slide. There are certain do's. Deal only with SEBI registered brokers or intermediary. All such list of brokers are listed on the SEBI website or BSC website. You can always check before going through any broker. Of course, you have to go through broker while investing into equity markets. So ensure that broker is a SEBI registered broker. Understand the market properly. Try to read the risk associated with the IPOs or the equity market. Get clarity about the brokerage, commission fees, etc. Okay, obtain copies of all the documents executed by the broker. Okay, make payments by banking. Don't make any payments in the cash. Ensure you make payments through banking, that is net banking or through any banking system. Madam, please go to the next slide. To the next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, certain don'ts. Don't trust any hot investment tips. Be careful about cryptocurrencies. I'm sure there will be some students who will be investing into crypto, which looks very lucrative, but at the end of the day, people end up making losses. So don't get into such Ponzi schemes where people say that your money will be doubled within 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Stock market is not a gambling. Okay, it has to be properly studied before entering into it. If somebody says that investment into, there are a lot of videos which people make and upload onto Instagram, YouTube, etc., that we give coaching into stock markets and we ensure that you make profits. And please try and study whether whosoever is promoting all this thing, whether he is registered with the SEBI or not. Only after that, get proper financial education and then make investments into stock markets. Don't go with the advertisements or claims made by these kind of people. Madam, next slide, please. In case you have any issues, there is a portal which is made available by the SEBI, that is www.scores.gov.in. It is here you can register complaint against brokers, listed companies, or even the stock exchanges. It is a fair process and a time-bound process, and everybody has to adhere to those processes. A simple glance of the mutual fund. Madam, next slide, please. The safe bet is the mutual fund for the initial investors or the first-time investors. What is mutual fund? Certain investors pool in the money. Okay, there is a dedicated fund manager or a fund house, which are a group of qualified people who know what the markets are. They take this money and they do investment into stock markets in securities. They invest into multiple companies. Whatever in returns are generated out of these companies, that is again paid back to the investors after deducting their commission. So simple language, this is how the mutual fund works. Madam, next slide, please. So this is a simple representation which I wanted to show you. So suppose you are investing rupees 3,000 per month into mutual funds at the rate of 10% per annum. If you invest this amount for 10 years, so if you see on the right hand side, the invested amount is 3,60,000 and the resultant amount is 6,19,000. So 3,000 rupees invested per month for 10 years will give you this much amount. This is the basic calculation for illustration purpose only. You will find mutual fund calculators on the Google. There are many banks or mutual fund companies who provide these kind of calculators. Madam, next slide, please. So I talked about time is an important factor. So if you start investing early, this is what the resultant is. Same 3,000 rupees at the same rate of interest, you invested for 20 years. For 20 years after investing, the total amount you invested is 7,20,000. But how much amount you have got back? 22,97,000. So mutual funds, 3,000 is maybe a higher amount. Okay, but you can start as in the lowest amount could be 200, 300 rupees. Also, you can start investing in mutual funds. So our suggestion is, or our advice is, start instill the habit of savings. Try to go with the basic thing. Try to invest at least 200, 300, 500, whatever amount is possible. Start investing early so that you get the result after 10 or 15 years, whenever you want to, whenever you pass out, when you want to start, your job and you want to buy a new home, that time this money will be useful for you. Madam, next slide. This is just a glance of what are the various type of mutual funds available. It is equity based, debt based, hybrid mutual funds, solution oriented for children, for index funds. Okay, then there are tax saving funds which will be useful for you in the future years. Madam, next slide, please. So this is certain things what you need to follow when you invest in mutual fund. Define your investment goals, assess your risk. Okay, so it is more or less similar to your the equity. However, this is much safer and easy to do. Even at the click of your button through your mobile phone also, you can go and do investments in the mutual funds. So this is what we have to say. So as I finish my presentation, I would like to convey, invest wisely, invest early, and invest with knowledge. So thank you for hearing to me patiently. Thank you very much. So any questions you have, we can take up the questions.
Hello. Dr. Anand, we have come to the end of the presentation for CDSL and BSc. If there are any queries, students or faculty members, they can ask, please.
So students, the forum is open for question and answer. Please go ahead with your queries. Queries related to CDSL, queries related to BSc, capital market, all these things. Sir and madam both are having practical, they can share their practical experience with you. So please go ahead with the questions.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Good
afternoon.
Hello. Okay, sir. So what are the main functions of NSDL and CDSL? Can you please explain in short? Main role, function?
Okay. So CDSL and NSDL, these are the two depositories registered in India. We offer DMAT related services to the investors through our depository participants. So as I said in my presentation, if you want to open a DMAT account for starting your investments in capital market, you need to approach an intermediary who is registered with either CDSL or NSDL. We call them depository participant, DP. Okay, so you approach a bank, broker, financial institution, NBFC, which is offering DMAT services, and you open your DMAT account over there. Once you open a DMAT account, you can buy securities from the stock market, and you can get the same credited in your DMAT account. If you have any physical share certificates, that also you can convert from physical to electronic using this particular DMAT account. So basically, DMAT account acts as a custody account for keeping your securities in electronic form safely. And trading account basically enables you to do transactions through the stock exchange mechanism through your broker. So if you want to buy or sell any securities through your broker in the stock exchange, through the stock market or stock exchange mechanism, you need to have a trading account also. So through your DMAT account and trading account, you can invest in IPOs, invest in capital market in the listed securities, etc. And also depository offers you services like holding mutual fund units also in electronic form, or casting your vote electronically through the e-voting portal, etc.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, anyone else? Please go ahead. Yes, anyone? If you have any query related to DMAT account or capital market, please go ahead. So no queries. That means everything which have been shared has been absorbed by the student very well. They have learned everything. So thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
I will
For-
just share one video, sir. I would just like to show you that No Shak Niveshak series which we have come out with.
Yes, madam.
I will share the web links with you separately. Just one video I would show over here.
Yes, yes, madam. What we will do is we will take a screenshot of it.
Sir, I will share it with you on email.
Acha, okay, okay. That's great, madam.
Yeah. Can you see the screen?
Hello.
Madam, Word document is visible. You can see your screen, but the Word document is visible.
Is the video not visible?
No, video
It
is not visible.
not visible, madam.
Let me try again.
In fact, your screen is not visible.
Yeah, just a minute. I stopped sharing because you said it is not visible. So let me share it once again.
Yeah, it is visible now.
Is it visible?
Yeah, it
Yes,
is
madam.
visible.
It is.
Okay. So
Yes, madam, we are not able to see your screen now. I think the video has got over.
hello. Yeah,
Yes,
I
madam.
stopped sharing the screen. So I hope the video was, I mean, you were able to see the video.
Yes, yes, madam. We
Yeah.
were.
So we have prepared a series of such videos on various topics. So I will share the link with you, sir, and you can
Yes, ma'am.
circulate it amongst your students. And as I said, I will also share a feedback form link also, online feedback form. So requesting all the participants to please share your feedback about today's session. You can submit it online. And wishing you all the best with your academic career and also with your future and professional career. And thank you once again for giving us this opportunity to present this information to you all. And we look forward to having more such interactive sessions with your students in future.
Definitely,
very
madam. Definitely, definitely. So
Thank you
on
very
behalf of Matrix School of Management Studies, APIMR and DIMR, I, Dr. Anand Padre, extend vote of thanks to our honorable guest speakers, Mrs. Ashwini Thorat Khedkar, Madam, and Mr. Kiran Patil, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I thank
Thank you.
both the honorable guest speakers for sharing their practical experience with our students. And I'm very much sure that now students are able to understand both the role of CDSL as well as what is capital market and how the capital market functions in a better manner. So thank you, madam, and thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank
So
you.
dear students, we have posted the link for today's feedback session in the chat box. Please go to the chat box, click on the feedback link and fill the feedback form before leaving the session. So please go to chat box, click on the feedback link, fill the feedback form, and then you can leave. Madam, can we end the session?
Yes, back form link in the chat box. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, madam, it is.
Yes, I will also share the same with you on email as well, along with the Noshak Niveshak links, video links, and you can please share it with the students.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Thank you.
madam,
Thank you so
definitely.
much, sir.
Thanks
you.
a lot,
We'll
madam.
leave the
Thanks a
meeting
lot.
now. Thank you.
Good day, madam. Good day, sir.